The average home price in Toronto is $1,081,400, but what does that actually cost to own? Let's go through the numbers in this video. I'm Michael Ouzas, I'm a realtor in the Greater Toronto Area. Take a second to pause this video and throw a comment down below on what you think the monthly cost is for the average home in Toronto. If you ever wanted to book in a call with me, click on that first link in the description down below. So let's go through the entire journey of having an accepted offer, the closing costs, and what the monthly cost is every single month. So let's use an asking price of $1,080,000 for all these calculations. And if you want more accurate calculations, you can definitely reach out to a mortgage broker or mortgage specialist. So you just had an offer accepted for $1,080,000. Next up, the deposit is due. Now the deposit shows your good faith in the transaction, is typically due either with the offer or within 24 hours of having an offer accepted. The deposit is held in the listing brokerage's trust account and kept there until closing. So that deposit in the city of Toronto is typically 5%, which is $54,070. You're also going to want to keep in mind to have that cash liquid when you are making offers on properties, because if it's due within 24 hours and maybe you bank with a bank that doesn't have a physical storefront, you might not be able to get that deposit bank draft right away. Now, if you have an inspection on that property, that's going to cost you somewhere around $500 plus tax. And then if there's an appraisal, that's also going to be probably somewhere in the $300 to $500 mark. Let's call it $300. So if we calculate those together, your 5% deposit at $54,070 plus about $500 for the inspection and $300 for the appraisal, talking somewhere around $55,000 to firm up the deal. The deal becomes firm once the deposit's in and the conditions are all met. So you do have to be satisfied with the conditions to move forward with the deal. So lawyers are going to reach out probably about a week before closing and give you a remaining balance that you'll have to bring them when it comes time to signing the final paperwork. This is when the remaining down payment would be due, any kind of lawyer fees, any land transfer taxes, and any adjustments due on closing. So since there was a 5% deposit, there will be 15% remaining for the down payment. And that's if you're putting down 20%, which is pretty conventional when it comes to purchasing a property. The remaining down payment is $161,930. Next up, we have land transfer, and in Toronto there are two. There's a provincial and the municipal land transfer tax, and they each come in at $18,103 for a total of $36,206. If you are a first-time home buyer, you do get a rebate of $8,475, but we're not going to factor that into the equation for this video. And if you do qualify, that would be taken off the amount when signing the paperwork with the lawyer. Lawyer costs definitely vary, but I would just guesstimate about $2,000 for the lawyer costs. And if there's any kind of adjustments, think about if the seller has already paid the taxes for the year and you're purchasing in March, well, there's 9 months owing of taxes on the property, and that would also be added to the adjustments. But for this equation, we'll factor that in as 0 for now because that's a case-by-case basis. So total amount owing to the lawyer a couple days before closing would be $200,130. Now, there may also be some other expenses when it comes time to closing. This is where any moving costs come into play, any van rentals, if you have to change over the utilities or the hydro, any type of home insurance that you would be setting up, and any mail forwarding service as well. Those are all things to consider when closing and something you might want to plan for, so it's not unexpected when closing time comes. So deposit's done, the closing costs are in. Now let's talk about the monthly payment, because this is what you're going to feel on a month-to-month basis. So for this, I just jumped over to RateHub mortgage calculator and just plugged in some numbers. So you see the 20% down is $216,000 total. And remember, 5% for the deposit comes out of that. Total mortgage balance remaining is $864,000. What I did here was I changed the rates. This is 4.5% on a monthly rate. 25-year amortization, this is 5%. This is 5.5%. And this is 6%. And I also think that this paints a really good picture of the cost difference for every 0.5 increment when it comes to purchasing. So if we look at the monthly cost at a 4.5% rate, you're talking $4,782. At a 5% rate, you're at $5,025. At a 5.5% rate, you're at $5,274, and at a 6% rate, you're at $5,528. There's about a $250 difference between each increment here. Of course, these are definitely subject to change and things to talk about with your mortgage broker or specialist, but I just wanted to show the illustration here for this video. Let's go with the 5% route on a 25-year amortization and a monthly payment. and your payment every single month just on the mortgage side is $5,032. If we estimate taxes at about $6,000 a year to give us a round number, we're talking another $500 a month. Home insurance is typically somewhere between $50 and $100 a month, of course, depending on your coverage. Let's go with $100 a month for the calculation. And I have utilities, which is your gas, your heat, your hydro at $200 a month, and your cable internet at $100 a month. And of course, these are all ballpark numbers, but I just wanted to illustrate what that looks like on a month-to-month basis. So your total on a $1,080,000 property would be $5,932, and we can round that up to about $6,000 a month. Now, of course, these are all subject to change depending on your use of utilities, hydro, what you order on your cable internet package, a very case-by-case basis, but I wanted to give the illustration to show you what that looks like when purchasing a $1,080,000 property in the city of Toronto. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of these numbers, if it's higher or lower than what you were expecting. If you found any value in this video, click that like and subscribe button so I can get this video to more people just like you looking to educate themselves in the Toronto real estate market. I'm Michael Ouzas. Thanks for watching.